Hi kids, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Martin Mares, your school counselor, and today, rather than going into all of your classes, I want to just do a quick presentation and discuss some topics, or one important topic that happens in the book that you've all been reading, Romeo and Juliet. As you all know, Romeo and Juliet is a tragedy, and in most of Shakespeare's, and all of Shakespeare's tragedy plays, the main characters usually have a tragic flaw. In this case, Romeo and Juliet have one of many flaws that really impacted the end of the story, which you all know, which led them to taking their own life. Romeo and Juliet have a number of flaws. One major one is reacting on impulse, doing things without thinking them out. They got married, day after they met each other really quickly. Romeo got in a fight and killed another person, and then at the end of the story, the end of their own life. These are things that really prevented them and prevented the play from having a happy ending. Who knows if they would have taken their time, letting things settled with the issues with their families, and possibly in the future they could have been together. But because of this flaw of theirs of reacting on impulse and making rash decisions without really thinking them out, it led to them to thinking that the only solution was to taking their own life. This is a huge topic. Suicide is a major topic, and I feel like you guys need a little more information about it and some feedback in regards to it. That way, if you know people that are having a difficult time or that you feel might be having a tragic flaw, that they're going to be reacting on impulse or making some irrational decisions, you're able to see what's going on and maybe talk to somebody about it and get someone some help. So when it comes to Romeo and Juliet, we asked, were there any signs that they were heading towards the wrong direction? Were there signs that Romeo and Juliet were headed on a path of destruction? It brings up the question, why do people have suicidal thoughts? Suicidal thoughts and actions are triggered by stressful events. They can't be together. Romeo and Juliet couldn't be together. Their families were feuding, and because of that, they weren't allowed to be together. Feelings of loss. At the end, Romeo thought he was never going to have Juliet. Juliet was gone and she was dead, and he thought, if she's not here, then why am I here? Those who have suicidal thoughts at times give signs to those around them. So a lot of times, there was people in the story that actually heard Romeo and Juliet discuss certain things that could have been a trigger, that could have thought, hey, Romeo, Juliet, you should really think about this. You should really think about your decisions, and let's talk this out before you do something irrational. So, some tips for you guys, things to look in yourself and for others: changes in feelings, actions, thoughts, physical ailments. When you look at others, when people were looking at Romeo, there's times in the story where people are talking to Romeo and thinking, hey, you don't look so good, you look upset, what's going on? They really try to help, and they probably could have helped a little more. And this presentation is for you guys, so if you do see that with people that you're able to help, and you can communicate this information with other people that would be more than happy to help you guys out and help any friends or family out. For example, some things that Romeo and Juliet said. In Act 3, Scene 5, Juliet says, if all else fails, myself have power to die. When she felt that if she can't be with Romeo, she said, I'd rather take my own life. Romeo also says, then I defy you, stars, thou knowest my lodging, get me ink and paper, and hire post horses. I will hence tonight. When he found out the news about Juliet, he let his servant know that I'm out. I'm taking off, and I'm going to go take care of some business. Right there, his friend could have said, hey, you're not leaving. I'm not leaving you. Obviously, there's something going on. I need to help you out. We need to get some help. And these are some triggers, some signs that were given that could have really helped Romeo and Juliet out. Some other signs that students might, or people might have when they're having a tough situation that can cause them to making terrible decisions could be some of their feelings. They feel desperate, angry, guilty, worthless, lonely. And a lot of things happen, especially during this time, that can cause some stress and certain feelings like these that can cause students and other people to feel like they need to make irrational decisions. Some actions that people take. Giving away possessions, withdrawal from family and friends. They disconnect themselves from people that they love and people that love them. Loss of interest in hobbies. Abusing alcohol and drugs. Reckless behavior. A lot of these things you can see Romeo and Juliet doing in the story. And it led to that tragic ending. Impulsivity, self-mutilation, a lot of these things are things that you need to keep in mind when you're talking to your friends, talking to family members. Listen to what people are saying. Pick up signs. Try not to think that the person's just saying things for attention. If you feel something that concerns you, that you hear a friend saying or somebody saying, and it throws that red flag up, don't be afraid to say something. If there's any question in your mind or in your gut, you need to tell an adult. What do you do with that information? Like I said, if you see these signs, talk to a parent, a teacher, a counselor, a coach, a friend. You got to let somebody know. That way, we can help. I can help. Your teachers can help. Your friends can help. A lot of times, friends that are having a tough time confide in their friends, and those are the most important people that they usually tell. Like, hey, this is going on in my life, and they're kind of reaching out for help by just even telling you these things. And because of that, you also need to reach out for help, because you don't need to be taking that responsibility at times. You should definitely come in and talk to myself, your teacher, an administrator, whoever, to get your friend or anybody some help. If your friend gets mad at me for if you guys were to come and tell a teacher, an admin, or anyone, it's strictly confidential. We won't let anybody know that you came in, and we'll just make sure to get whoever it is some help. Where can I get help if I need it? Besides your teachers, you're going to get a handout with a number of resources for you guys all to call, to get in contact with if you feel like either you need some help or a friend, a loved one might need some help. With that, there's tons of resources on the internet, but more importantly, there's adults and people that care about you all around you. Please feel free to talk to them, communicate with myself, with your teachers, with others. And if you do see any of these signs that we discussed earlier, please make sure to make it a point to tell somebody. If you guys have any questions in the handout that you're going to receive, please write down any questions or concerns that you might have. At the end, rip it up and leave it with your teacher. And we'll just cut it up and leave it with your teacher, and it'll get back to me. But with that, thank you for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day.